Cleveland goes to Baltimore. This should be a great game. I love Lamar Jackson, the MVP last year. He was spectacular. He's just got to win a playoff game. They've turned it around last year. I love their coach, John Harbaugh, what they've been able to do. They brought in defensively Calais Campbell. He should anchor that defensive line. You know they're going to be stout defensively. They're going to have a heck of a running game. They lost Austin Cooper. He goes to Cleveland as a tight end. My question for Cleveland, you look at all the firepower they've got. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Austin Hooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. That's just on offense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, you look at Myles Garrett and all the players that they brought in and they signed in free agency. This team is set to be a playoff football team on talent alone, except at the quarterback position. Baker Mayfield, it's going to be his chance to stand up in this game and prove he deserves to be a franchise quarterback with all the weapons around him. There are no excuses anymore for Cleveland. If they don't get to 9 or 10 wins with this football team, they're going to have a different quarterback next year. I'm going with Baltimore in this game, even though they're a 7.5-point favorite. Cleveland's got all those athletes and all those great players on both sides of the ball, the changes on offense, bringing in those tackles offensively. I'm still going with Baltimore in this game to cover the 7.5. It'll be close right down to the end, but I think Lamar, they'll run out the clock with about an 8 to 10-point lead at the end of the game, close this out running the football. I'm going for Baltimore to win this game 30-21.
That's a great observation on the Cleveland Browns. They are very talented on every area of the ball, except the quarterback has been productive. Last year, he threw 22 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. You cannot win in any level, high school, junior high, college, or pros, when you throw for 22 interceptions. But he's a very talented individual with the new coaching staff. Maybe they will get him to calm down, realize you don't have to make the great play, just eliminate the bad play. If they do that, I think the Browns are capable of being a playoff team, although I think Pittsburgh's going to be a lot better than people think at the present time. On the other hand, Baltimore was so productive on offense, Mark. They're very seldom in the history of football has a team been as productive on offense as Baltimore was last year and be able to come back and duplicate it the following year? I don't think they can. I think that Lamar Jackson's a great runner, also a very good thrower, but they might put too much pressure on him to do everything. I think Browns upset Baltimore by a score of 28-24, and I look for Baker Mayfield to have a great year. The question I have is they're going to run the football a little bit more. They aren't going to be as wide open. Is Odell Beckham going to be content with not getting the ball thrown his way as often as he wants? I don't think that you can beat the Browns on the outside most weeks. They could fall apart within. That's the question. But nevertheless, the Browns upset Baltimore.
Here's a little nugget for you at the end. They hired Kevin Stefanski as the head coach. They fired Freddie Kitchens from the head coach position last year. Do you know who was runner-up to getting the job last year to Freddie Kitchens? Kevin Stefanski. Now, if you're in the ownership position, you've already fired a guy that you hired over this guy. That brings questions to me.